The rich used to buy yachts. Now they're buying more time. Are they trying to become gods? In a world where almost everything has a price tag, from private islands to personal spacecraft, the ultra-wealthy have found a new obsession. Not diamonds, not empires, not even legacy companies, but time. Not just more years, immortality. To most of us, that sounds like a plot from a dystopian sci-fi film. But for billionaires in Silicon Valley, Dubai, Monaco, and beyond, it's a race. A real, heavily funded, eerily quiet race against the clock. They're not interested in aging gracefully. They want to outsmart death, rewrite biology, transfer minds, and maybe live forever. From Neuralink brain chips to cryonic preservation, from young blood transfusions to AI mind cloning, the world's richest are placing bold bets on beating mortality. This isn't just about living longer, this is about escaping death. And in this strange new world, time has become the ultimate status symbol. Let's explore the dark, surreal, and futuristic world where the rich are attempting to live forever and ask, what happens when only the elite can afford immortality? Number 1, the billion-dollar brain. Meet Brian Johnson, tech mogul, multimillionaire, and the self-declared most measured man in history. At 45, he's on a mission to reverse his age, and he's willing to spend over $2 million a year to do it. His morning starts not with coffee, but with a lab team, blood tests, and data sheets. Every calorie is weighed, every breath optimized, every heartbeat tracked. Johnson takes over 100 supplements daily, injects young plasma, sleeps in blackout chambers, eats the same meals, lives by the minute. Why? Because to him, aging is a disease, and like all diseases, it can be cured. And he's far from alone. In the world of tech billionaires, aging is seen not as destiny, but a design flaw. Something that can be hacked, recoded, even deleted. Peter Thiel, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, some of the richest minds on Earth, are investing billions into stealth biotech startups. Labs like Altos, Calico, and Rejuvenate Bio are exploring how to reprogram the human body at a cellular level, turning back the biological clock, preventing decay, and maybe one day switching off death entirely. To the outside world, it might seem like vanity, but for the elite, this is about legacy. What's the point of owning the world if you can't be around to rule it? Number 2, Neuralink and the mind merge. But reversing age isn't enough for some. What if you could leave your body behind entirely? Enter Neuralink, Elon Musk's most controversial project. Officially, it's a medical tech company. Its stated goal, helping paraplegics walk again, healing the blind, treating neurological disorders. But in the billionaire circle, Neuralink whispers a darker, more seductive promise: the mind-machine merger. Imagine uploading your memories, your voice, your essence, creating a digital copy of you, stored in a cloud, backed up like a hard drive. To some, it sounds insane. To others, it's the next step in evolution. Neuralink's chip, implanted directly into the brain, allows communication between neurons and machines. Musk has hinted at a future where AI enhances human intelligence or absorbs it. In theory, if you can digitize thought, emotion, memory, the soul, you can move it, transfer it, update it. Immortality in binary. Quiet trials are already underway. Non-public experiments, high-level test subjects, specialized clinics. And while Neuralink gets most of the headlines, other companies are in the game too. Synchron, BlackRock Neurotech, and several labs funded by billionaires with deep pockets and deeper ambitions. This is no longer a question of if, it's about who gets there first. Number 3, cryonics, freezing time. But what if you die before these technologies are ready? The elite have a backup plan: cryonics. Cryonics is the process of preserving a human body in sub-zero temperatures immediately after legal death, with the hope that future technology can bring it back to life. Once a fringe fantasy, cryonics is now a $500 million industry. Companies like Alcor, Cryonics Institute, and Tomorrow Biostasis offer full body preservation starting at $200,000. For a smaller price, you can store just your brain, banking on a future where your body is rebuildable or irrelevant. Some ultra-wealthy individuals are already frozen, suspended in tanks of liquid nitrogen, waiting for science to revive them. A digital Lazarus. Critics call it a scam, a desperate gamble, but for the rich, it's just another hedge like offshore accounts or space bunkers. They can afford to take bets on the future, and if cryonics works, they'll awaken in a world without disease, where AI governs society and death is ancient history. Even if it fails, their names will live on as the first humans who dared to defy the end. Number 4, biohacking the human limit. Not all immortality projects involve freezing bodies or uploading brains. Some are surprisingly simple and already happening. Welcome to biohacking, the subtle science of optimizing every inch of the body using data, supplements, and emerging tech. Elite biohackers use tools like nootropics, pills that enhance memory, creativity, and mental clarity, gene editing, using CRISPR to modify DNA sequences and upgrade human biology, hyperbaric oxygen therapy to accelerate healing and potentially extend cellular life, infrared saunas, cryotherapy, and gut biome transplants from so-called super donors. Think of it as turning your skin, heart, and brain cells back to factory settings. Some scientists believe this could erase decades off your biological age, not just slowing aging, but reversing it. These treatments aren't available at your local clinic. They're hidden behind NDAs, private jets, and concierge doctors. Billionaires are quietly running human experiments on themselves. For them, aging isn't inevitable, it's inefficient. Some Silicon Valley execs have even turned their children into medical assets, harvesting plasma for transfusions, undergoing constant lab tests, and treating youth as a renewable biological resource.
Number 5. The Immortality arms race. Behind closed doors, a silent war is being waged. Not in the deserts of the Middle East or the boardrooms of Wall Street, but in sterilized biotech labs, algorithm-driven research facilities, and elite private conferences far from public view. This war isn't fought with missiles or soldiers. It's a war waged with data, DNA, artificial intelligence, and billions of dollars. The prize? Immortality. Yes, the next great arms race isn't about nuclear weapons or space dominance. It's about defeating death itself. Longevity has become the new gold rush, the most coveted treasure in human history. Governments are watching closely. Pharmaceutical conglomerates are pouring billions into anti-aging research. Hedge funds and Silicon Valley titans are investing heavily in cutting-edge biotech startups. And beneath all this is a singular goal: outsmarting mortality. For centuries, humans have accepted death as the final frontier, the great equalizer. But that notion is rapidly collapsing. What if death is not destiny, but just another problem waiting for a technical solution? What if we are now entering an era where aging isn't inevitable but optional? Picture this: a world where the richest 0.001% never grow old. Their organs never fail, their memories never fade. They do not die, they upgrade. Disease? Eliminated through genetic editing and nanomedicine. Memory loss? Cured by neural implants. Aging skin and failing hearts? Reversed by regenerative stem cell therapies and lab-grown tissues. In this future, death doesn't just retreat, it becomes irrelevant, but only for those who can afford it. This isn't some distant sci-fi fantasy. This is the reality billionaires are quietly building. One clinical trial, one investment, one prototype at a time. Think about what that means. Presidents who never retire, CEOs who never step down, royal families and tech lords who outlive their critics, their enemies, and eventually their citizens. Democracy was built on turnover, on change, on the idea that each generation would rise, lead, and then make space for the next. But what happens when that cycle ends? The implications are chilling. Will our laws evolve to regulate individuals who live for centuries? Can our political system survive when elections no longer matter because the leaders never age out of power? Can ethics keep up with technology that rewrites biology itself? And most disturbingly, who gets to choose which lives are worth extending and which are left to expire? Because immortality, like everything else in the elite's world, is a commodity, a product, and soon it will be a luxury only the ultra-rich can buy. The rest of us will still age, still get sick, still die. The divide between the haves and have-nots won't just be about wealth anymore. It'll be about biology, about time, about who gets to live in the future and who gets left behind. The technology is already in motion. Brain-computer interfaces promise to upload thoughts and memories into digital form. Cryogenic freezing offers a last resort to pause life until science catches up. Plasma transfusions from the young to the old are being explored as anti-aging treatments. AI-driven diagnostics are extending life by catching diseases before symptoms ever appear. Gene editing tools like CRISPR are rewriting the human genome to eliminate aging-related damage, and startups are now offering longevity subscriptions, monthly regimens of personalized medicine, scanning, and biohacking to keep the body operating like a machine that never breaks. To most people, death still feels like an unavoidable ending, but to the richest and most powerful, it's now just another challenge, another barrier, another frontier to conquer. They're pouring their fortunes into labs and think tanks, determined to bend nature to their will. For them, time is not a ticking clock, it's an asset, one they refuse to lose. But ask yourself this: what happens to society when death becomes optional? Because if only the elite can afford life extension, then we're not just facing inequality, we're facing biological class warfare. Imagine a world where the rich literally become a new species. When power has no expiration date, democracy withers. When wealth lasts forever, revolutions lose meaning. And when the soul soul can be copied, the body upgraded, and life bought. What's left of what we call human? The race is already on. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Peter Thiel, Larry Page. These names keep popping up, not just in tech or business, but in the longevity space. They're funding moonshot projects, launching research labs, and hiring Nobel Prize winning scientists to solve death. The goal? To become immortal gods in a world of mortal men. Subscribe to Elite Luxuries to uncover the future the elite are quietly constructing. A future where life is engineered, death is defied, and power never ends.